Guys, welcome to my channel Education and Masti. So today we are going to start with the geography chapter Urbanization, and it's the part 1 of this chapter. And the topics that we are going to deal in this chapter are: number 1, we will know the introduction of urbanization; number 2, causes of urbanization; number 3, impact of urbanization; and number 4, positive and negative impacts of urbanization. So these are the topics that we are going to deal with today. And first we will start with introduction. So first, what is urbanization? We need to know. So urbanization is a process in which populations from rural areas move to urban areas, thus leading the growth of towns and cities. So what is urbanization? It is the process in which population from rural areas move to urban areas. Means rural areas here means villages, and urban areas here means cities and towns. It means that in urbanization, people move from villages to towns, which leads in the growth of towns and cities. Means if more people go from villages to cities and towns, then cities and towns will also increase by numbers. So here, what is actually urbanization? Means people moving from rural areas to urban areas. So it also leads to a progressive increase in the number of people living in towns and cities. So we also know that 61% of India's population still lives in the village areas. So as many people move from rural areas to urban areas, the population of the urban areas like towns and cities will also increase. This large scale movement of people from rural to urban area is largely influenced by the fact that cities and towns have better economic, political and social benefits compared to the rural areas. So what we can understand here, that why people move from these villages to cities and towns, means why they are moving from rural areas to urban areas. The main reason is that economic, political and social benefits are there in urban areas than compared to rural areas. Like there are more job opportunities, more good educational opportunities and also medical facilities. In both developing and developed countries, people move to cities and towns because they see rural areas as places with hardship and primitive lifestyle. What here we are meaning that many people from cities and towns, like developing country and developed country, means developing country which is still not developing, it has not been developed, and developed country which has already been developed and has all facilities. So both in developing and developed country, people move to cities and towns because they see rural areas as places with hardship. Means the thing that in rural areas people do hard work and then only they get a primitive lifestyle, means a good condition of lifestyle. Means if they do any hard work, then only they will get a good lifestyle like agricultural, fishing, mining, etc. But in rural areas these things only happen. But when we go to urban areas, that people work, sit in offices and work, and they get more money and good lifestyle. So people generally move from urban areas to rural areas in search of good job opportunities. Then majority of people are attracted to towns and cities because they want to acquire better socio and economic services and benefits which exist in these places. Social and economic services like bus services, metro services, train services, everything they want to get, which we don't find in rural areas. Rural areas do not have the service of metros or any other communication and transportation facilities. So therefore, for getting the benefits of the things which are present in urban areas, people move from rural to urban area. Some of the advantages of living in towns and cities are better healthcare facilities, education, sanitation, housing, job and business opportunities, and transportation. So like it is far better than to live in the urban areas than the rural areas, because urban areas provide good healthcare facilities, education facilities, sanitation, housing, job and business opportunities, and transportation, which we will never find in the rural areas, because urban areas are the developed areas which have all this kind of facilities. Therefore, as populations move from backward areas to more developed areas, towns and cities, large areas of the country become urbanized. Means if more and more population will move from backward area to developed area, here means from the rural areas to the urban areas, then the large areas of the country will become urbanized. Means if more people will move from rural to urban area, okay, in India, if more people will move from rural to urban area, then the whole country, that is India will become what? India will become an urbanized country, and if it becomes an urbanized country, means it will become a developed country also. We know that India is still a developing country, it is still developing. So we can make our India developed if we become urbanized and have all those kind of facilities which an urbanized city or town has. Now let's move to the second topic, that is causes of urbanization. Causes of urbanization. So there are many factors responsible for the urbanization of a place. Like means cause of urbanization means why urbanization happens, why people move from the rural areas to urban areas. Mainly urbanization is something when people move from rural areas to urban areas. Therefore, we need to know what are the causes which forces people from going to urban areas from the rural areas. First one is the dearth of jobs in villages and the lack of opportunities to earn a livelihood draw people from the rural areas to the cities. Means first of all we need to get that there is a very scarcity of jobs in villages. Scarcity means what? Like very less jobs are present in villages, and there is a lack of opportunity to earn a livelihood. Means only very few things are there, like for agriculture, fishing, and like mining. These are the only things through which we can earn some livelihood, and that also very much little. Therefore, this thing pushes people from the rural areas to the cities or urban areas. Then second is rapid industrial growth in and around the city provides plenty of job opportunities. Means like if I am living in Delhi, and in Delhi if there is like rapid industrial growth, then I will get job opportunities. And around Delhi, like in Gurgaon also, if something industrial growth is happening, there also I will get the job opportunities. So if we are living near the city or in the city, then we have more chances of getting job opportunities. Then cities also provide opportunities for unskilled workers from rural areas. Okay, so like we know many workers from Jharkhand and all, they go to this one cities from Odisha, West Bengal. They go to cities for earning livelihood. They are actually unskilled workers. They take up jobs at construction sites or as mechanics, drivers, barbers, newspaper vendors, street food sellers, then etc. Such jobs or small trade opportunities are not available in villages. So these things we get in cities. Like these jobs can be done in cities which may not be available in villages. Many people from village areas or from this cities like or this one state like Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, Bihar, they go to Mumbai, Delhi and Gurgaon for working because they would get jobs and livelihood from there. They also work as workers in some houses like urban workers. Okay. Then the fourth point is cities offer better medical facilities and healthcare services. We already know that. This decreases mortality rates and causes a natural increase in population. Mortality rate means what? Mortality rate means death rates. Okay. So in cities there is a decrease in death rates. Why? Because in cities there are better medical facilities and healthcare facilities that is not available in villages. Okay. Then we are having cities also offer better education prospects for migrants and their children. Like migrants are those people who arrive to a new country while living their own country. Okay. So they provide this education opportunities are being provided to their children also. Like many people, many migrants come from village areas, their education opportunities are not there. So the migrants who come for working in cities also provide their children with good education prospects. Then we are having cities offer higher wages to workers. Higher wage means higher amount of money they offer to the workers. Then cities offer people more varied options for recreation and entertainment. Recreation and entertainment means like recreation and entertainment like entertainment in the field like television. Television so is there in everybody's house like circuses and all is present in cities. Okay, and also cinema and plays, sporting events, circuses, song or dance performances, fairs and exhibition, etc. are present in cities only. In villages you will not find exhibition and all. So therefore this recreation and entertainment services are present in cities and towns. Then Cities provide better communication and transport facilities. In villages, there is no communication and transport facilities. Also, internet also works very slow there. Then, modern modern conveniences, improved lifestyles, and freedom from rigid social norms such as the caste system that are more widely prevalent in the rural areas of India force people to leave their villages and move to cities. Now, conveniences means what? Like these things, accommodations, more good, like convenient house, convenient luxury house. Okay, improved lifestyle and freedom from rigid social norms. Freedom from rigid social norms such as caste system. Here, what it is telling, when we move to rural area, from rural areas to urban areas, we means like when we arrive in urban areas, we get more comfortably, we get more comfortable, we get more luxurious items, our lifestyle becomes improved, and we are free from the rigid social norms, means the caste system. We are means we are free from the caste system. We don't have to follow the caste system, because in rural areas of India, caste system is very much prevalent and very much widespreadity of caste system is there. Therefore, if we live in the rural areas, the caste system and everything will force you to leave that village and move to cities. These things are there. This caste system like things will force you to leave the village and move to cities, because you will get modern luxurious comfortability and you will get an improved lifestyle with good job opportunities. So, this is about the cause of urbanization. Now, let's see the map about the causes of urbanization. This is a map showing about the urbanized countries of the world or urbanized continents of the world. Here means what is this map showing us, that how much percentage of people are urbanized in that particular country or continent. So when we talk about North American continent, here we can see that half of the continent, more than half of the continent is 76 to 90% urbanized. 76 to 90% urbanized people means the country, this North America is developed, means America is a developed country, and more than 76 to 90% people live in cities. Okay, more than 76 to 90% people live in the city area. Then when we come to here, Brazil and like Brazil areas, Argentina areas, here also, here we can see 91 to 100% people, means almost every citizen is urbanized, living in cities. But when we come to our own India, we can see that it is less than 15 to 13% people, means in cities only 15 to 30% people live, and still you know that in India 69% people live in villages only. So therefore we can see that very less amount of, or very less percentage of people are living in cities in India. And here also we can see about Australia also, it is an urbanized area. Here also urbanization is there. So we can talk about it that India is less urbanized area, with 69% of its population still living in the village areas. So if India has to become a developed country, then it should increase, means many people should come and live in cities. So that should be there, means not only in cities but rural areas should be converted to cities. Like there should be good medical facilities, education and job opportunities available in rural areas. Then people will not have to come again back to the cities for their livelihood if rural areas become developed. So this is about our world population, world urbanization. Now let's move on to the impact of urbanization. So a large number of people migrate from rural to urban areas as a consequence of the push factors and the pull factors. So we all know what is urbanization, as we all know that people are moving from rural areas to urban areas. So why are people moving from rural areas to urban areas? Due to the push factors and the pull factors. So this push and pull factors play a main role in which people move from the rural areas to urban areas. So as in the previous chapter, that is migration, we studied what are pull factors, what are push factors. So push factors we studied like lack of availability of land, that pushes people from moving through that area or moving out from that area, that is push factors. Like some factors are there which push people to different area. They push people from that area in which they are living. Like I am living in a village, because of the conditions in that village I have to go to another place. I am being pushed by that condition where I am living. So that is push factors like lack of availability of land, lack of job opportunities, political freedom, not only in village but it also happens through country. So that is push factors. And pull factors means good education, job and medical opportunities and facilities, and also due to the wealth, the higher wages they get, and you also many reasons are there, as I told you, about education and job opportunities, and good and better health care and medical facilities are there. So push factors push people from particular area, pull factors attract people. So basically push factors are related from a rural area, we relate it with rural areas, and urban areas this pull factors we relate with urban areas. Then while certain factors in rural areas push out people, there are some factors in urban areas that attract people, as I have told you. As more and more people are pushed from rural to urban areas, there are both positive and negative impacts on the people who have migrated to the city. Like many people are moving from rural to urban areas, they are being pushed from rural areas and urban areas that attracted them. So there are both positive and negative impacts on the people who have migrated to the city. See, who have already migrated to the cities, they have both positive and negative impacts. So that we will know in the next topic, that is positive and negative impacts of urbanization. So let's start with that topic. Positive impacts of urbanization. Urbanization has some notable positive impacts or effects on the lives of people in big cities. Means like the people who are living in big cities, they have a very positive impact of urbanization on them. The number one is there is development and expansion of essential services like clean water, electricity and transport in cities. Means people have a great access to clean water, electricity and transportation in cities. Then there is also development and expansion of certain essential services. Then people in urban areas have greater access to health, educational, cultural and social service than in rural areas. Means in rural areas, health, educational opportunities and job opportunities are not that much how much it is in urban areas. So urban areas have a greater access to these opportunities, and also they have great opportunities for cultural and social services. Then third number is more schools, colleges, training centers and universities are found in urban areas, which provide children of migrants with better prospects for the future. So means there are more good schools, colleges and training centers and universities which are found in urban areas and provide children of migrants with better prospect for the future. Like there are many people who are coming to like cities and bringing their family also. So they think that no children, their children will also do the same work what they are doing. But because of the schools and colleges, the children of migrants are also having a better prospect for the future. Then urbanization creates harmony among people coming from different strata of society, allowing people of different caste, groups, languages and religions to live and work together in peace, thereby breaking down the social and cultural barriers. Means urbanization creates harmony among people who comes from different strata of society, and now the people work in different, means there are people working together which are of different castes, different languages and different religion. They be together in peace and therefore they break the social and cultural barriers. We say that different religions and people have already fight, but when they work together, they work in peace and do the work in a very gentle way. Then urbanization allows people to acquire modern communication skills. Means like when you are living in cities, you get access or you get to know about modern communication skills like telephones, internet, etc. Knowledge of computers and smartphones, as well as the knowledge of new languages, enable many people to take up jobs that utilize these skills. For example, thousands of Indian youth who have a good command over English language have been hired at call centers across the country. Means this urbanization increases our communication skill and acquires modern communication skill, and also here we are able to know about the computer and smartphone, as well as knowledge of new languages that helps us to take part in the different jobs which utilizes these skills. As I told you example here, you can see the Indian youth who have good command over English language, they attend foreign calls. Okay, so they have an office in Bangalore also, so they attended. Then urbanization provides people the opportunity to acquire training and work experience in high-tech industries, enhancing their skills and facilitating them to migrate to other countries. Like urbanization provides people the opportunity to acquire the training and experience in high-tech industries. Like when we are living in cities, we are able to work in high-tech industries which enhance our skills, and means we are able to work in a very good high-tech industries, and we have great skills and we can use them to migrate to other countries. Means like we are migrating to other countries and there we can work in those high-tech industries and earn more money. So these are the positive impacts of urbanization. Now let's know about the negative impacts of urbanization. Now, negative impacts of urbanization. Despite its many benefits, urbanization also has quite a few drawbacks. Drawbacks means like negative impacts or something which makes it negative. Now, due to a large number of people moving in the urban areas, there is an acute shortage of housing. Means now housing facilities have been very much, housing facilities have very much decreased. Many people can only afford a very small accommodation of about one room unit with any space for toilet or kitchen. Now housing facilities means there is a very much shortage of housing facilities in the urban areas due to many people are going from the rural areas to urban areas, and also they can't find one BHK also for themselves. They are only having one room which does not have any space for toilet or kitchen also. So this has become a main problem, because if these things are not available, then living in a congested area would be very harmful for ourselves also, because diseases can be caught if there is no space for toilet or washroom. Then many people who leave their village and migrate to cities in search of a better life and occupational opportunities end up as casual laborers. They do not earn enough to be able to afford proper housing facilities in a city. This leads to the creation of the slums. Now listen carefully. Like when people are moving from villages to the cities in search of better life or occupational opportunities, they end up as casual laborers. Means they are trying to become a good people or good person who earns more money, but they end up as casual laborers. Means casual laborers who don't get enough money so that they can afford proper housing in a city, because housing facilities in a city is also very much expensive, and getting that much as a laborer is very much difficult, and this leads to the creation of slums. Now what is slums? Slums are urban areas that are heavily populated with poor housing and living conditions. So they are urban areas that are heavily populated with poor housing and living condition. Mean these are urban areas that are very much heavily populated, which don't have either the good housing or living condition. Since slums are usually located on land not owned by the slum dwellers, they can be easily evicted from their houses by the owners. Means the land on which the slum is being created, it is not owned by the slum dwellers. So the slum dwellers do not own the land on which the slum is created. Therefore, anytime the people who are living in the slum areas can be evicted, means can be thrown out from their houses by the owners. Means as their houses are on slums and those slums are owned by someone else, and if that owner wants to create something there, then he have to remove the slum dwellers there. So there would be thrown out by the owners if owner want that land. Here we can see in this photo, in this example, that urbanization leads to the creation of slums which have poor living condition and lifestyle. You can see how near the houses are situated. Very near. They are sticked to each other, and therefore they are also not having any toilet facilities or any kitchen facilities, leading to the widespread of diseases here. Recently here corona cases were also discovered, but because of the government it was controlled in that area. Otherwise controlling in this area, the slum areas, is very much difficult. In Mumbai, that these slums we can see. Then overcrowding in cities also leads to the problem of transportation. Yes, this is one of the main problem in cities, that if there is slum, then transportation is jammed. Means traffic jams are very much there. There is poor network of roads, inadequate public transport, which leads to traffic jams and further adds to the suffering of the people commuting. Means if there are good road also, good public transport also, but there are traffic jams due to the accumulation of the people on the roadside, and due to this there is a lot of traffic jam which adds to the suffering of the people who are waiting, who are commuting, who are still there to go to their offices or schools. Like sometimes when we go to offices or school, it is a very big traffic jam due to inadequate public transport or network of roads, or also due to slum areas. Then growth of slums in urban areas puts pressure on essential utilities such as clean drinking water, sanitation, power, etc. Like if in urban areas slums are growing, then they would put a pressure on the essential utilities such as clean drinking water, sanitation, power. That is true when people arrive from rural area to urban areas. When they arrive in urban areas, they put more pressure on the government as they will require place of housing, clean drinking water, sanitation and power, which will more put the pressure on the resources which are left in that place. Then overcrowding in slums lead to the outbreak of diseases such as malaria and dengue. We know that in today's one, corona is the one. So corona has also been there in slum areas, but it has been controlled. But this also leads to the outbreak of very much contagious diseases like malaria and dengue also. But highly contagious diseases are this one only. What? Our corona only. Then with the daily influx of a large number of people into cities who have come in search of jobs, unemployment in cities increases as the number of people looking for a job is more than the jobs available. Like many people come from rural areas to urban areas, but are there more than jobs? Like what I am saying is that if 1 lakh people are coming to urban areas, there are only 50,000 jobs for them. For 1 lakh people, there are 50,000 jobs. Then 50,000 people will go where if they will not have job? Where they will live if they will not have money? So they will live in slums. Okay, so this is the reason with the daily influx of large number of people who are coming to the cities. So 50,000 people, they don't have any place to live and they have to live finally in slums, as I have already told you. Then next one is unemployment and poverty force people to engage in antisocial activities. Antisocial activities means illegal activities like crimes and all. Then crimes begin to increase in slum areas, thereby making it difficult to enforce law and order. So basically in slum areas it is very much difficult to enforce law and order, because we are not able to go inside the slum areas because of its it is not clean, very dirty area, and crimes and all these things happens and nobody ever knows about it. Then with the increase in urbanization, the environment is affected in many ways. Means very adversely the environment is affected. Mainly the negative impacts is on our environment only. We will to face the negative impacts, but environment is facing more than us. The first point is there is a steep rise in air pollution, and as more factories are built and more motor vehicles ply on the road, there is a steep rise in air population. How air population increases? Because of the smoke which is being left out by the factories and because of the motor vehicles which ply on the roads. So there is a steep rise in air pollution. Then a rise in air pollution leads to a consequential rise in allergies and respiratory diseases. Means if there is more and more air pollution, then there will be a rise in allergy and respiratory diseases like asthma, bronchitis and all those things. Then the expansion of cities leads to the destruction of flora and fauna. Flora and fauna means animals and plants of that local area where they are grown. With an increase in population, there is a consequent demand for more housing. In building high-rise apartments, a lot of forests and wetlands are destroyed, driving away many birds and animals from their natural habitat. So, when there is an expansion of cities, there is destruction of flora and fauna. And also when we are building high-rise apartments, there is a lot of destruction of forest and wetlands, which drive away the birds and animals whose habitat is that flora and fauna, which have been destroyed. Then, in many areas close to the sea, urbanization damages the ocean ecosystem. We know that ocean ecosystem is very much important. Here you know that Mumbai is situated near Marine Drive. That means Marine Drive is actually the ocean, this one. The Arabian Sea. So Arabian Sea is also being getting dirtied because of the cities which are being built close to it. Then Destruction of green areas and increase in built up areas led to an increase in city temperature. Now what happens that when cities are being, then green areas, green cover, green forests are being removed, and there is an increase in the areas that are being building there, means buildings are increasing in the areas, means green cover are being removed. Okay, in the place of green cover are removed and buildings are built, high rise buildings are built. So what happens because of this? There is an increase in the temperature in the cities. If forests and all will be cut down, then the temperature will definitely it will increase, because this forest bring rain back and become, means they establish a cool environment in that area. But if trees and all are only cut, then from where rain and all will come? Therefore there is an increase in the temperature in the city. So therefore this is ending of this video. I hope you have understood this topic, and also you will understand it very much easily how I explained you. So with this I finished the part 1 of this urbanization chapter. I hope you have liked it. So watch my channel, watch my video, subscribe my channel, share with all your friends, families and colleagues, so that it becomes very much like spreading of this education. Spreading education is nothing. Spreading education should be there in everyone. So spread education, and thanks for watching this video.